Meow, 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 meow. Ba-da-ba-dow, da-da-da-dow. Hey, it's Zoll. News. Let's go. Our top news of this week is the 7.1 PTR patch thing being deployed. There's a lot of data mine stuff, and I'm not going to go over that, but I'm just going to touch on a couple of gems that I saw. So it looks like you will be able to upgrade your legendary thingamajigs with a certain item. We don't know how to get that stuff yet, but this seems like it's in line with Blizzard's statement way back in the day when they said that they want these legendary items to last pretty much the whole expansion. I guess this is their way of doing it. I'm a little bit put off with the trader that allows you to trade in the Blood of Sargeras stuff for whatever. As a tank and a dual crafter, it's pretty easy for me to fulfill work orders and do dungeon runs and what have you to just amass a whole bunch of this stuff. I have a few hundred right now. So naturally I'm going to be buying a whole bunch of herb, flipping that into glyphs, try to sell a couple of them. Dude, they go for 10,000 on my realm. And it's cool, but that kind of flies against the earlier statements that I had made about, hey, there's scarcity coming back, it's not going to be as easy to farm all this stuff. And with this, I mean, you're still working to earn the Blood of Sargeras, to trade that in. You know, there's still kind of a shuffle going on. But I do have mixed thoughts about the ability for any player to get resources using this blood. If you don't agree with me, that's cool. We can talk about it in comments below or over Twitter or whatever, feel free and tell me what you think. I'm also curious what you guys think about attuning to Karazhan. So I haven't really looked at much. I'm just hearing things here and there about how you need your Order Hall champions to be of a certain item level, or that the quest line just takes balls forever, or that it's time gated or whatever. I'm probably gonna do a rant about the concept of gating at some point, but I just want to know, hey, what do you guys think of that? And I'm seeing these little class changes, whatever, and one that really surprises me is the change to the honor system, that the whole prestige thing is kind of going away. So what's going to happen is that once you hit, as you're PvPing, you get honor, you get these levels. Once you hit 50, you prestige down, and then you got to re-earn your talent points, and go back up to 50, you prestige again. So they're going to do away with that in patch 7.1, and in its place, when you do prestige, you're not going to lose your talent points anymore. I mean, you're going to keep them all, and I guess that's the only change. So it seems weird. It's a total 180 of what they were talking about, hyping up, and going on about ever since they announced the system. And it's weird because it's just gone. It's not exactly being replaced by anything. I mean, yeah, you get gold and artifact power, whatever, but it's being removed. The whole idea of prestiging is gone. At the same time, they had explained that from both external and internal feedback that they decided, hey, it doesn't feel right prestiging down, doesn't feel right having to get your talents back. And I can kind of see that. The scenario for that would be like, let's say you're a pretty hardcore PvPer, you do some world questing, you do some arenas and rated battlegrounds and that sort of thing. So the kind of behavior that sort of player would experience would be a little weird. It would be like they're gonna level up and get all the talents that they want, and once they have everything that they want, they're gonna go into rated stuff because that's where it matters. They're going to start farming that stuff and try to improve their rating and so on and so forth. When the time comes and they reach the honor cap, they're gonna have a choice to make. Okay, they can either stay where they're at and continue to improve their rating, or they can prestige down and they can get their reward and then start back up again. So when they do prestige down, what are they going to do? They're probably not going to do their rated battlegrounds or arena stuff anymore, because while they might get more honor that way, they don't have their whole toolkit, they don't have their talents and stuff. So they're probably going to just go back to world questing or non-rated battlegrounds or world PvP, stuff like that. So despite Blizzard taking this whole prestige system away, they're giving freedom back to the players and allow them to, if they want to keep doing arenas and all that stuff, but still be able to prestige and not feel screwed over, cool. But of course, this flies against the principle of, hey, they had something and then they're taking it away, and I'm sure that's going to upset some players. So, let me know what you guys think. Apart from that, Ian Hazakasas made a post on the WoW forums about class balance and how they're trying to approach that. Now, there have been a lot of players like Warlocks and such that have been giving feedback and criticisms about their class and spec, and Ian's response is that he wants to take a kind of sort of wait and see approach, because we don't have all the systems enabled yet. We don't have like the Mythic Keystone dungeon dungeons going yet. We don't have raiding going yet. So he wants to kind of wait and see what kind of numbers we're seeing, what kind of representation, what kind of outliers there are until they start doing balance tuning and more significant hotfixes and changes like that. In the meantime, they did do the whole soul shard fix for demo locks that they were talking about in the Q&A last week, and Ian unfortunately talked about nerfing tank damage across the board. Now, it might be just a little bit salty, but at the same time, our damage is pretty high and our survivability is of course second to none. So losing a little bit of that damage but still retaining our survivability is not going to be the end of the world for me and hopefully most other tanks. But Windwalker monks, sorry, not sorry, you guys deserved the Strike of the Windlord nerf. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. There have been a couple of high-profile departures that occurred this week. Amai is the lead quest designer for WoW and did one of the Q&As earlier. He had left, and I'm sure you heard by now that Metzen, the VP of, I don't know, awesome things that he did, he had left as well. And it's understandable, both of them have put in a little over 30 years of experience into the company. Craig with, I believe, 12, and Metzen with, I think, over 20. So for Craig, I do wish him the best. I hope that he has a cool break, and that his next project or whatever team that he works with, I wish him and his team the best of success. And for Chris, I wish him the best of luck in his retirement. I hope that he gets plenty of rest and a chance to get fat, as he said. And to never forget, hashtag Rocketbear. The top thing of the day, aside from the dog barking outside, is that September 20th is coming, which means raiding is coming, as well as Mythic Keystone dungeons. I guess that's the name now. So hopefully you guys have been amassing resources and flasks and pots and food stuffs, or you're ready to make a whole mint of money selling that stuff because it's coming. The raiding, the Emerald Nightmare, that's pretty self-explanatory. You got the raid on normal and heroic opening on the 20th. Next week, Mythic and the first wing of LFR is going to open, and then several weeks afterwards you're going to get the other wings to open up. There is a lot of talk going around about Mythic Keystone dungeons, so I'll talk about it too and give you guys the quick heads up on what to expect. So when you do your first Mythic dungeon in the week, you're going to get this magical Keystone guy, and so you take this guy, and this Keystone will have a random dungeon assigned to it. It might be like the same one, it might be a different one, who knows. But you take this Keystone, and only one person in your party needs to do it. You throw it down in the corresponding dungeon, and ta-da, you get a 40-some minute timer to clear the instant on the initial difficulty. When you clear the dungeon itself, you get a chest with 2 pieces of gear. Woo! But if you clear it on time, like that under that 40-minute mark, your Keystone gets empowered. It goes up a level. Stuff gets harder and dungeon effects come into effect, but the rewards get better. At the end of the week, depending on how many Mythic Keystone dungeons that you did, the game is going to take the highest level Keystone dungeon that you've completed, and you're going to get a special chest that you'll see in your order hall. Open that chest, and you're going to get some more rewards out of that. So that is the basic gist of Mythic Keystone dungeons. So on Tuesday, I'm probably going to try to stream it. I'm not sure what time I'm going to be doing it. It's really going to just depend on when my guild's available. But I am going to stream the Emerald Nightmare raid at 7 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday. And Thursday as well, and sometime in between I'm going to be trying to stream the Mythic Keystone dungeon run things for your guys' entertainment. So feel free to drop in, say hi, say what's up. I appreciate it. So I think that's about it for the news. I mean, there's some small things that I'm seeing, like paid battle nets, paying $10 to change your BattleNet tag. Woo. Well, I guess that is a little bit expensive, but with how easy it is to abuse, that sort of anonymity, I guess the $10 isn't. I don't think the $10 is so much as a cash grab, but more so just kind of a deterrent that, hey, we can do this service, but we don't want to let you do this shit all the time. Oh, the Goodie Bag, duh. Yeah, so BlizzCon folks, they released images and footage or whatever it is. They announced all the stuff that's going to come in the Goodie Bag for people that are going to BlizzCon and for virtual ticket holders. So check that stuff out, and I'm going to drop links on just about everything that I'm talking about in the description below. So I'm going to head out for this week. Feel free to say hi over in the channel comments or over the Twitter thing, Facebook, whatever. And be on the lookout. I'm going to be trying to stream every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's usually going to be raiding stuff, but if you want to see more, if you want help me to add a day, adjust the schedule a little bit. Drop me some feedback. Let me know what would be cool or what you'd like to see. And otherwise, I think it's time for the weekend. You guys have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. I'm Soul. Stay breezy, guys.